So I remember watching a bunch of movies when I was younger, like Fight Club and Troy and Thor, and seeing all the actors like Brad Pitt and Chris Hemsworth, and just thinking, man, I really wish that I could look like that, and I wanted to really have that superhero physique. But just kind of always struggling and then falling into a mindset that I was just kind of stuck with, the kind of out of shape, unhealthy look that I had. And if you clicked on this video, I'm gonna make a few assumptions. The first assumption I'm gonna make is, number one, that you're a young man, either in your teens or your 20s. And number two is that you've probably also been in a place where you've kind of just accepted maybe that you're gonna be unhealthy, or that you kind of just weren't genetically gifted, but you've kind of always aspired to have a better physique. And trust me, I get that, because I'm not someone who's always been super blessed, with the most amazing genetics. I've definitely had my fair share of being out of shape and unhealthy and pretty fat, honestly, for most of my life. And so the point that I'm making is that I've seen both sides of it. I've seen what it's like to be on the side of, kind of just that fixed mindset of, this is just how I look and there's nothing I can really do about it. But then also on the mindset of looking like, well, if this guy can do it, if he looks like that, then why can't I too? So in this video, I'm gonna really just break down the most important steps that I took to transform my physique as just an average guy. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 different tips that I think will really help you change your physique into the physique that you want. Most of these really just have to do with the mindset, because I believe that that's what's most important. And then after I give you those 5 tips, I'm gonna give you just some practical, like day-to-day stuff that will make this process easy for you. Just stuff that I've learned that took me a while to learn, that I'll just give you right now. First, before we jump into all this though, if you are interested in supporting my channel, because I'm really trying to grow this right now, I do have a course in the description. Check that out. It'll be a lot more details, just kind of like a deep dive into exactly how I crafted my physique into what it is today. But anyways, first tip is, number one, again, this is going to be more mindset, but actually decide that this is something that you are capable of. One of the things that held me back quite a bit when I was going through like weight loss periods, or like when I was training pretty intensely, would just be like this notion in the back of my head that like, yeah, I'm doing a diet or whatever, but I just kind of know that I'm going to fall back into, regress back into my patterns, and that was pretty killer, like that would ruin a lot of progress, because you just kind of like, you give yourself the fallback option. If you've ever heard of the term burn the boats, that's what I would recommend here. Burn the boats. Don't give yourself an out to go back. Really just decide that this is something that you're going to do and that you're capable of doing. Because that's going to be the switch that you need. You don't really want to have, the mindset of I can fall back into the patterns. If you're actually going to make a change, it needs to be something that you're dedicated to. It needs to be something that you're deciding that you're actually going to do, without a doubt. Now, the second thing I would recommend is set aside time to really dial in. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can, if you believe more in like the balance of the lifestyle of maybe going out and partying, but also trying to, get your physique dialed in, like you can do that. It's possible. But for me, I've really found that it's a lot easier just to segment it into periods. And so what I'll do when I'm going through like fat loss periods is I'll just say, hey, for this block of time, like I'm dialed in right now. Like I'm not going to be partying. I'm not drinking. I'm not going out right now. Like I'm just really getting things dialed in, because I have a goal to achieve right now. And again, it also makes it easier too, because it doesn't just become like this, like unlimited period of time where you're trying to achieve this goal. It gives you like an actual block of time, which in my opinion allows me to visualize it even better. Because if I'm like, I know by this date that I need to have this physique or this goal completed, then it just kind of gives me the motivation where it's like, I just need to make it till then. So I think that that's kind of a helpful thing, is really just give yourself like a period of time, like a block of time to complete your goal. The third thing is look at the discomfort as proof of progress. So to give you an example, when I'm in my cutting periods, towards the end of the cutting periods, there's times where I'm having cravings and maybe I'm pretty hungry towards the end of it. One of the things that I used to do when I first started my fitness journey was I would look at this discomfort as like, man, it sucks. Like, it's so bad. Like, I wish I could go eat right now. But instead, one of the shifts that helped me was I changed that to, oh, I'm feeling hungry. That means that I'm actually making progress right now. Or like, oh, I am having this craving, or, you know, I want to eat food. That means that I'm in a calorie deficit right now. Like, I'm getting closer to my goals. So shift the mindset from like the discomfort is a bad thing to the discomfort is actually proof of progress. And then the fourth thing, and this is a big one, is it's a mistake that I used to make, and it's just a mindset switch, which is looking at your fitness journey as not a punishment, but as an act of self-love. When you realize like, hey, I'm gonna eat healthier and I'm going to get my physique dialed in, and I'm not gonna eat, you know, anything under the sun, and I'm gonna go to the gym, rather than looking at the gym like it's a punishment, looking at it like it's a reward. It's an act of self-love because you love yourself, you love your body, and you want yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can be. So I think that's another shift, is look at this period of growth not as a punishment, but actually just as an act of self-love. You love yourself so much that you're willing to actually endure this discomfort so that you can be a better person. And then the last mindset tip is create a vision of what I call you 2.0. Here, I'll show you, have it written down. You can see, create a vision of you 2.0. So start thinking in your head, what is that person that I want to be? What do they look like? What do they act like? You know, how does their day-to-day lifestyle look? You know, do they work out every day? Are they, you know, what does the physique look like? You know, start to visualize in your head, you know, look at where you're at now, and then start to visualize what you want to be in the future, and start crafting that vision in your head. And it's really motivating. I think when you like see, you know, what you want to be, it's like, man, if I just do the right things, if I just make the right choices, I can get to that, you know, I can bring that vision into reality. You know, really, like, you can literally, it's almost like manifesting. You're literally manifesting something that you have created in here and bringing it to life. It's amazing that you have that potential. And then in terms of just some practical tips, I would say number one is focus on clean foods, whether you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. Focus on eating like whole organic foods. Just avoid like the processed stuff. Don't be going out to fast food for every meal. You know, you know, just eating clean is really going to be good for you. It's like fueling properly. You know, it's like putting the right fuel in the tank. The second practical tip I would say is weight train at least 3 times a week. I'm a very big advocate, especially if you're a young man, for weightlifting. Yeah, you want your muscles to be big, whether you're in a fat loss period or a weight gaining period. You want to maintain your muscle mass. So I would say weight training at least 3 times a week, non-negotiable. And then third practical tip would be go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. You have something called a circadian rhythm. It's basically your body's natural sleep cycle. If you're going to bed and waking up at different times every day, it's really hard for your body to acclimate to a sleep schedule. But if you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, then you'll have higher quality sleep, because your body knows, hey, it's, you know, this is the time that we go to bed, and your body can actually start to prepare and deploy the right hormones at the right times to make sure that you have more restful sleep. So, and restful sleep means more gains. And then shoot for at least 7 hours of sleep minimum. Not a lot of people get enough sleep. Sleep deprivation is a very real thing. So focus on your sleep, and sleep is literally like natural steroids. Like, get enough sleep, go to bed at the right time, because that's literally when you make all your gains. You know, the weight training is the stimulus, the food is the fuel, but that all has to come together, and that happens when you sleep. So yeah, focus on sleep. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful. I wanted to just kind of give you like some tips that really helped me along the way. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.